just a random throw together match. She's not. She looks like she's having more situations on the Raw show than SmackDown. She just shows up on SmackDown. She interacted with Natalya. She's interacted with Nia Jax. She's interacted with the Raw commentary team.
All I know is that Lacey Evans is a lady of class, and she deserves all the gold that she can get her hands on.
So you're wanting Asuka to be 0-2 at WrestleMania?
To Lacey Evans, maybe.
Wow. And you're saying that.
I'm just saying.
I'm actually kind of shocked with that.
We've got a world of possibilities in front of us. We've got weeks before WrestleMania. We can do any number of things. It's a magical world out there, Tarek.
I'd rather have two established SmackDown superstars going after the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is something they're not doing for the Raw Women's Championship. You have two SmackDown women going after the Raw Women's Championship. There's very little logic in that, but let's try to get some form of logic. Is it a good logic? No, because Mandy Rose and Asuka didn't have such a great match at Fastlane, and they didn't really do anything with Sonya Deville to really make an opinion whether or not her and Asuka would have a great match, which I'm gonna be honest, I think they actually would, because Sonya Deville's gotten a lot better in the ring. But the fact that the champion is basically the third wheel in the SmackDown Women's Championship storyline, not really a huge fan of that.
I get that, I do. But then again, they can, if done right, they can also switch that up and give her character the proper motivation with one show. We've got 3 weeks until WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm.
There's a number of ways that this can be rectified and clarified, and so that can have the proper perspective and build that it deserves.
I just want to see Sonya Deville snap and its first attack Asuka, and then Mandy Rose is trying to take all the glory hog that she kind of has been hinting at through this whole time. When you look at their entrances, it's Mandy Rose all shiny and clear, and you look at Sonya Deville in the blur. So have Sonya Deville's like, I'm tired of basically being in your shadow. I am better than you.
Put your hair up and square up.
Bleach blonde hair. Put your bleach blonde hair up and take me on, bitch. Oh, and Asuka, you can come too, because I want your belt. Yeah, you're in this too. I actually almost forgot. It's okay. Apparently WWE writers did too.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Womp. But anyway, speaking of triple threats and handicaps and all those good things, as you were alluding to earlier in the show, we had a Kofi Kingston storyline expansion happening, which led Kofi Kingston to believe that he was in the triple threat for the WWE Championship.
Sad storyline booking, because we all know that wasn't the case.
Nope, just a handicap match and the Bar, of all people, beat down Kofi Kingston. Sad face for Kofi. Happy faces for you?
Unfortunately not, because I'm gonna side with the crowd. This segment took on too long. It was too long, and it was actually it was very boring. And
I know I thought that, but if you're feeling that over a bar segment, that's not a good look.
They'll probably make this up with the gauntlet match next week, which, imagine if the entire SmackDown show was the gauntlet match.
Oh, I would love that.
That would actually be awesome.
Didn't they do that with Triple H one time?
I don't know if it was a gauntlet match, but I do know that they had
one of the first SmackDowns I ever saw was a.
Was it a SmackDown?
It was a SmackDown,
I know
and Triple H had a gauntlet match with all these different people, and they were all specialty matches. Like he had a boiler room match with Mankind.
You saw Mankind get hit with something and then fall off, and he crawled out. He was facing Kane, and then Undertaker took out a beat up X-Pac. I remember that.
Yeah,
that aspect. Was it a SmackDown?
It was a SmackDown.
It was
I remember it very clearly.
All right.
But yeah, I love gauntlet matches.
I think the Kane one was a
Inferno match.
Inferno
right?
match, yeah, because his glove got caught on fire, yeah.
And that's how he lost, yeah.
And Undertaker having X-Pac on the ramp, all beat up, Kane looking concerned, and then Taker was like, all right, I'm done. Kane screwed up, let's go venture out into the night.
And then that's when he left.
And that's when he left, and Vince was like, yeah, that's you're not going to have a spot for Sunday. I don't give a shit. I'm Undertaker, bitch. I can do what I want. Except go to StarCast, apparently.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about the Bar defeating Kofi Kingston. Wow. Funny how we got sidetracked by that. But either way...
Well, it was honestly a very boring segment.
It was.
And it wasn't that far off. I mean, we connected. It did connect. Kofi, gauntlet match. Triple H, gauntlet match.
True.
On SmackDown, both.
Either way,
same brand.
Kofi and the gauntlet matches, it's a great way to do it. I love gauntlet matches. And Kofi, this is going to be the perfect avenue to show off what he can do.
It was a gauntlet match that got him into this spot.
Very true. Or at least solidified it even further. Mm-hmm. Really showed off what he can do and what just made people remember how good he really is. And I think this is just going to serve the same purpose. But until then, we got this, and yeah. Again, not a good look. 3 great wrestlers. Just a terrible segment.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even remember. Did they even have a moment where Kofi looked like he could have won?
Not much.
I think that's the reason why the match was really boring. It wasn't really... It was kind of just a one-sided match. And... It was a one-sided match that took a long time. That's why the people turned on it. Because one thing, it didn't hurt Kofi's momentum because later in the show you can see why and how things went on SmackDown. But in this, it hurt the segment. This wasn't even a match. It was a segment. Rusev and Nakamura stopping Woods and Big E from helping him at all.
It felt like a SmackDown segment.
Yeah, and it was a bad SmackDown segment too, and that's saying a lot because SmackDown normally has good stuff.
Yeah, it's a real damn shame. But elsewhere, talking about more tag teams, we've got the Revival defeating Aleister Black and Ricochet and Rude and Gable.
This was a good match.
Yes, this was better.
This was definitely was a very good. This was a very good match. These teams showed that there actually can be some hope in the Raw Tag Team division.
Oh, absolutely.
More than just the Ascension, the B Team, and what was the other? Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Remember they were trying to redeem themselves? What happened to that?
I got so excited when that first started happening, but it just fizzled out so damn fast. Like, not again, boys, not again.
What happened to Mojo Rawley and his look in the mirror?
He ran out of mirrors.
Apparently. Which is interesting because that was actually intriguing. Hey, I wonder where they're going to go with this. 2 weeks of it. And then nothing.
Oh, boy. But at least we got to see the Revival
shine,
exactly.
We got to see all 3 of these teams shine. Mm-hmm. These are actually 3 of the best of the Raw Tag Team division. But at least 2 of them, Black and Ricochet, show up on both shows. So, well, you knew they weren't going to win, but you knew they weren't going to take the pin. That was Rude and Gable's job. And yeah, great Shattered Dreams and 1, 2, 3 on what was it, Gable? Yeah,
it worked.
It was. The fans weren't into it at first, and there were sloppy moments in it, but nothing like that took away from the match. It was very good. The crowd, it actually got the crowd invested. The crowd started actually really liking this, which, yay, there's hope for the Raw Tag Team division again.
Absolutely. Now, again, I think we all saw that one coming. What I did not see coming was Samoa Joe defeating Rey Mysterio, Andrade, and R-Truth to become the new U.S. champion. I'm glad to see it. But
no, he was already U.S. champion.
This was the defense? Oh, yeah.
This was the defense.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting that backwards. But even so...
It was still this was match of the night. For me, it just beat what you could possibly be your match of the night. It just beat.
All right.
It was just
It took me a minute, but I think I see what you're getting at. Yeah,
they were just these guys know how to work with each other. R-Truth kind of like took a step back. He did what he needed to do, which was basically try and beat John Cena. But yeah, Andrade, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe, these guys can just have match after match after match, and I'll just never get tired of it.
I wouldn't go quite that far, but I will say that if anyone could come close to having that repeat string of matches be interesting, it's got to be these guys.
And then what they just did on SmackDown with the tag team match of Joe and Andrade versus Truth and Rey Mysterio, and looks like they're hinting at a Mysterio-Joe match at Mania, with Joe getting the roll-up on, with Rey getting the roll-up on Joe, and then Joe just fully snapped, took down R-Truth, and then took down Andrade.
And that's how you keep the heat. Beautifully done.
I'm very happy that Samoa Joe is United States champion.
He's one of those guys, like Nakamura was in Japan, that he can take a mid-card title and make it absolutely worth it and make it must-see TV without it being a tagline.
Mm-hmm.
He can do that, and he can capture your interest no matter what he's doing, no matter where he is on the card. This, as much as I didn't want to see him being relegated to the mid-card, it is good to see him get some belt recognition and to see him in something that's just plain interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
agreed.
I dig it. Well done, Joe. Can't wait to see what you do at WrestleMania.
Joe.
Finally, for yet another, it's just hitting me now how many tag team matches there are on this show. Boston Hug Connection.
This isn't even the last one.
Yeah, really. Boston Hug Connection defeated Nia Jax and Tamina to retain the Raw Women's Tag, the Women's Tag Team Championships. Period. Again, very predictable. But nothing jumped out at me at this match. I have the hardest time remembering anything that happened in this match. Just
nothing happened in this match.
That the result is what I expected. That's it.
The only thing that really you can talk about was the interview that I think it was Charlie had with them about them being the underdogs. But I'm like, they're the champions. How can the champions be the underdog? Is it just because Tamina and Jax are big?
They are large ladies.
That is just typical WWE crap. It's like, oh, just because they're big, the champions who may be smaller are the underdogs.
They're the biggest. That means they're the best.
Apparently so, but at least in Vince McMahon's eyes. But in the rest of us, Tamina the best. She's never going to win a belt.
Part of me just feels really bad for Tamina, just being... Sure, she's been employed by WWE for a long time now, but she is barely given the microphone. She's always thought of as a also-ran. It's kind of sad.
It's because she doesn't have any real skills. All she has is just a money shot that her daddy made famous.
Okay, in that case, it's at least there's a good name for it. It's a Superfly. You know it is.
The Superfly Splash?
Yeah.
Shame on us for not knowing this.
Well...
But brain farts, man.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yes, eventually we need to clear out some information in the scholars' mental data banks. Every once in a while.
This match sucked.
It was forgettable.
It wasn't good. This was just basically me. I was watching this. I was like, I'm not missing anything. Get up, get myself something to drink. Came back down. What did I miss? Nothing. Roll up. 1, 2, 3.
Make some nachos.
And then the main focus was the end segment of Jax and Tamina beating everyone up, including Beth Phoenix, which brings out Natalya, which even Natalya gets beat up. And now you're having the possibility of another triple threat tag team title match at Mania between Boston Hug Connection, Nia Jax and Tamina, and Beth Phoenix and Natalya.
Yay?
Yay? Is that